Hey everyone, Works here. So welcome back to the next video. This is a video of the week. So a lot of you guys have been asking me about my UI. What do I use? What add-ons do I use? Could you upload my UI? So I finally figured out how to do a large part of that. So I just wanted to do a video discussing the add-ons that I have. And then from there, we will kind of go over some of the add-ons and the importance of them. And then we'll talk about where to get my profile for both my elf profile and my just full-on UI. Right? So the main foundation of this, of course, is elf UI. I use it for all unit frames, pretty much everything that you see around. I use it for raid frames, arena frames, boss frames, focus frames, like all the unit frames, all the other little skin redesigns, mini map buffs, regular map, all that good stuff. That's the core foundation of it. And what we'll do is we'll pull a video to kind of show off exactly how it's done. We'll grab the stream from tonight as of this recording. Grabbing that here. So get that prepped. There we go. All right. The other major add-ons that I use, of course, weak auras. We'll go into weak auras a little bit later. Of course, details here in the bottom right. This is the results of the first ever 17 that we timed, Necrotic Wake. That will be going up on the channel later on this week, so be on the lookout for that to see my first ever 17 timed. Minimap button back, of course, just to hide all these. So we'll kind of go left to right on these. So details with the action tracker, so you guys can see what I'm doing. Helps you kind of see what my rotation is. You're wondering what actions I'm taking, action tracker just right above the camera, right about there is going to be the one that you want. Of course, details itself. Weak auras, we talked about. Simulation craft. This is very useful for DPS in particular because you can use this when you open your vault. You can type /simc or click on this icon and it'll open up a raid bot string, and then you can just go into gear compare and paste the string into the box and hit sim. And what it'll do is it'll sim everything that you have in your bags and what is in your Great Vault to determine if any items in your Great Vault are upgrades. So very, very useful feature. I use it mainly for my Hunter and kind of my Warlock a little bit right now. And sometimes for tank damage, just to see what, with trinkets in particular, which trinkets are a better combo. If I have scale and then I get DPS trinket, which DPS trinket is the best, that sort of thing. All right, Plater is the nameplate add-on that I use. So this is just much like weak auras. You can completely customize in a very specific setup. I use one that is called Compact. I got it off of Wago. You just search Compact under the Plater profiles and you find it pretty easily. I love Compact. I think it does everything that I need it to do. So you can customize and make your own, but I just use Compact because it works out really well. Mythic Dungeon Tools. Mythic Dungeon Tools, of course, will allow you to organize your pulls. So you can kind of see exactly how it is at the route that you take, where the Malsworn Lieutenants are for the rest of Season 2. And then you can go through and just kind of plan your route. Or if you're playing with another tank, they might link your route. So you can click on the route and it'll open up Mythic Dungeon Tools and you'll be able to see what their route is so that you kind of know, okay, this is when I need to use cooldowns, etc. This is used a ton in coordinated groups, but if you're someone that likes to make your routes, if you're the tank that's making your route, this is a great tool to be able to do that so that you don't have to go into a dungeon a shit ton and trial and error it. All right, method raid tools. These are another one that I use. I don't use a ton of them, but there are certain things out of it that I use. The big one that I use it for is the marks bar. So this is the thing that's right down in here when you see me in a party. Allows me to quickly mark things, do a ready check, do pull timers. And I also use the battle res timer, which is right here when I'm in a dungeon group as well. Allows me to quickly check and see how many battle reses we have and how much time we have left on them. There is a bunch of other stuff that's in here. It's great for raid leaders. The notes, individual notes, are very good for assigning groups. So like on Sired Anathrius and Castle Anathria, for example, when you had to split your groups into taking the frontal so that you could get your stacks lowered. That's kind of what you could use that for. I don't know of anything specifically in Sanctum because I'm not super familiar with it. And then the raid cooldowns are good for raid leaders. Let you get a bar that shows all the raid CDs. Again, I don't really use this because I'm in Mythic Plus. I don't really need to do a ton of that. And then, of course, bigwigs and astral keys. Astral keys is a cool little feature. Allows you to see what keys you've done and what's your best key for the week. So I've done a 13 on the hunter, 17 on the monk. And then the DK we haven't run yet. We'll probably do them either tomorrow or Friday as of recording. But it also shows, guild member keys. So I can see what Pads has. Yes, Spires. Newall has DOS. And then what we have for our low keys. And then our big one that we're going to probably try tomorrow in 18 halls. You can also use it to see what friends are online. So Bruce F and Emerald Wolf. Shout out to both of those guys. You can see what keys they have. You can see they have a 21 depths, for example, 17 top. You could use it to see if your friends are playing, what your friends have if they're not part of your guild, or what you could do inside your guild if your guild's inside of it. This right here does show the affixes for the week. You can click down and it's supposed to show affixes for the future weeks, but it's not always accurate, so just be mindful of that. In party, you'll see Omni CD, which is another add-on that I use. It basically allows me to see all the cooldowns from my party members. It has a kick tracker as well as a raid cooldown tracker if you want to use that. Again, I don't. But very useful. You'll see that in the video here shortly. As far as weak auras go, there are a ton of weak auras that I use. The major ones that you see are Luxthos's class packages for all his classes. Afinar is also extremely good. You can use that one as well. I used it a lot in the past and just found Luxthos and just prefer his approach to it a little bit more. Lucky One I know has some really good ones out there as well. So just whatever weak auras that you want to use if you're using them to help check your cooldowns, manage your resources, see your cast bar. And every class has something a little bit different that makes it kind of unique. So that's the main one that I use is Luxthos, which you can get off of Wago or his website. And then you see I've got an inscrutable quantum device. This tells me what I'm going to get. And it will ping up here in green or in red if I'm going to get the heal or the execute or the CC break. But it'll tell me what stats I get, and it's a way to help me track the trinket. This one here, rateability timeline. This takes your bigwig bars and put them on this here as a timeline. Works in dungeons and in raids, so very cool. I've really enjoyed getting it. And then this over here that you see is efficient stats. This is more for you guys to see what my stats are on this character. That way you can ask, okay, are you running like a super high crit build? Right now, the answer is yes. But I have good verse. You can see my mastery is pretty decent. Low haste, what my agility is, what my speed is, because right now I'm on the mount. Speed is when I'll probably end up taking off eventually. I just am too lazy to do it right now. Let's see. I do have one for when I'm inside dungeons. You won't see that this week because we don't have any affixes that are pinged by it. You'll see in our mists run, we have the mist guessing game. That's mainly if I am playing beast mastery or I'm healing. Go do that. And then a couple ones in DOS, the Muzala dance. This basically just puts a giant arrow on your screen of which direction to go instead of having to listen to the voice text. And Muzala marker, which allows you to type ! DOS markers, and it'll actually assign portals to everyone in the group. So there's no arguments over that. But beyond that, all the other ones are kind of small ones. If you have questions about them, I'm happy to answer them on stream or in the comments of this video. So we'll go from there. So let me go ahead and grab this video here. Let me fast forward real quick. And we're going to come here. So this is just from the stream that I just got off of. Actually, as I'm recording this, this is the Mist of Tyrannus Scythe, just to show off these things. So you can see here, the UI and work, you can see I've got it here. Got Omni CD going. Here's the kick tracker right in here. Mythic Plus timer, another weak aura that actually is used by WoW Esports. MDI uses it for when they do great push, and the MDI itself. This is a dungeon tracker, shows your affixes, has a little bit of a cleaner timer that lets you know when you can 2 and 3 key things. My favorite part about the M Plus timer is this bar right here, though. You can see I'm at 17.31% trash. When I engage into the next pack, what'll happen is that it'll tell me what my percentage is going to go up to. So we'll fast forward a little bit into this dungeon. That's the really long boss fight. So we're gonna just skip that. We'll go back a little bit. You can see right here when we defeat this matriarch, we're gonna be at 43.46%. So very good for helping keep track of your trash count, knowing if you need to get more or less. And in certain dungeons, right below where the party frames are at, you'll see a percentage. And what that is, that's a weak aura that allows me to know how much percentage of dungeon I need to get done before we engage in like the last area. So in Spires, you have to get like 87% before you can fly up and defeat the 3 angels. In Sanguine Depths, it's like 85% before you engage the gauntlet, that sort of thing. And you can see this is the Mist of Tyrannus Scythe tracker. I'm going to adjust the positioning just a little bit. Let's see, what else do we got? Let's go ahead and fast forward, see if there's anything that shows up. I don't think there's going to be anything new in Necrotic Wake. You can see up in this upper left-hand corner, you'll see voices pop up every now and then. That is, of course, you can see Newall's talking right here. I don't have the volume up, but that basically allows you to see who's talking in Discord. I know their voices, so I don't have to have that up, but I like to have it up for you guys. That way, those of you that are not familiar with my stream or not familiar with Newall and Fyrus's voices can see who's talking, just so that it gives you a little bit of context for where they're coming from. And then when I was doing Raid back in Castle Nathria, it allowed me to put names and voices together so I knew who was talking in the middle of Raid. Beyond that, that's pretty much the UI, guys. So let's talk about how you can actually get the UI. So there's a couple of ways that you can get, depending on what you're looking for. If you are looking to get just my LVUI profile, I have uploaded it to wago.io. You just search Warwick's or Warwick's LVUI profile, and that will actually allow you to get my full LVUI profile. What you'll do is you'll just hit this copy LVUI import string, and then inside the dungeon itself, or inside LVUI itself, you'll come into profiles and you'll do import profile and just paste the string into this and hit import now. And that what it'll do is it'll get all of the settings that I have, texts, bar colors, class profiles. For healing, I use the exact same UI as I do for DPS and tanking. And for heal over time effects, so for you Mistweavers and Resto Druids in particular, I use the colored boxes just because that's what it came with default, and so I adapted to it. But you can do different ways to do it. You can also turn off anything that you don't want to use. So if you use like Voodoo or Grid for your healing because you prefer those add-ons over the LVUI frames, 100% acceptable. If you want the full UI, I am going to be linking in the description my Google Drive file that I have for it. So you can get it straight off the Google Drive. It's just a zip of the WTF and the interface folders. So what you'll need to do is download the file, unzip them, probably put them on your desktop for the time being, and then you'll want to copy and make a backup of your interface and WTF files. That way, if something breaks, you just have your backup file back. You can go back to your old UI. And then you just replace your WTF and interface folders with the WTF and interface folders of my UI. And then you boot up the game, and that should allow you to have all of the add-ons, all of the setup, and everything's going to look exactly like this. So that's where it's at, guys. Again, everything will be linked in the description below. I'm very flattered that you guys have been asking me about this pretty consistently, so I do truly appreciate it. So if you have any questions, any comments, please leave them below in the comment section below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. So until the next video, I hope you're all staying safe. I hope you're all getting vaccinated or you're getting your boosters. Very, very important with Omicron going around to please get those. It's better to have the vaccine in a minor symptoms like a headache or a stuffy nose rather than ending up in the hospital. So please go get your vaccines and your boosters. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a good evening.